Welcome to Providing Choice, a Florida Charter School Alliance podcast. I am Lynn Norman-Teck, Executive Director of the Alliance, and your host for this episode. In celebration of the 25th anniversary of charter schools in Florida, we've been speaking with the heart and soul of the movement. Parents, board members, teachers, students, alum, and principals. We've been giving them a chance to project their voice, to talk about the movement and share their experience. On this episode, we hear from Tunji Williams, a veteran educator and charter school principal whose op-ed was recently published in a Jacksonville newspaper. In that piece, Mr. Williams speaks up for the charter school he leads, for the community he serves, and the charter school movement. So, great column in the Times Union. But before we talk about that, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I've been in education for 26 years now and spent 14 of those years in what I call traditional blue blood public school. And the last 12 years I've been in charter. So have had the chance to be in serving most of that time in Miami-Dade County and then moving to Duval County here in Jacksonville.
And you've really done it all from the turnaround with the districts to starting off a brand new school in Duval.
Yes. So I moved here in 2011 and started the Somerset Eagle campus here, which is, we're in our 12th year. Yeah, so 12 years. And like you said, did turnaround schools in Miami-Dade County. Worked in all manner of schools, Title I, affluent areas as well. So had an array of experience to kind of see all different types of students, parents, and families and communities.
Absolutely. And that's why your piece was so powerful. A congresswoman, Congresswoman Castor, came out saying, "Oh, these schools, they're taking our kids, and why should parents have choice?" And you fired back. So I will include that link in this interview on the bottom. But can you give us just a little recap of what you told her and why you told her you're such a supporter and why, who you serve? Because I think that's important too.
Yeah. So one of the things that grabbed my attention was the fact that we're pulling students from public schools and that we're providing failing schools. And that's not necessarily true. I've worked at a failing school, so I know what it looks like, and we got a lot of chances. While I've also worked at a charter school that didn't even get a chance. I think in the second year, we were being held to some very stringent measures, and obviously, and that's understandable. Accountability is there for all charter schools, but I saw a school close right before my eyes, and I've seen other charter schools and fellow schools and principals who I've worked with who have told me about their schools closing. So it's kind of imbalanced when you look at it. Traditional public schools get a lot of opportunity and leeway and resources to pull themselves out of slump, while charter schools don't necessarily get the full fair chance. The other piece that got my attention was the feeling that charter schools create a more segregated community. And that bothered me. That's not necessarily true. We have geographical division in any city. The zip codes are just what they are. Certain communities are certain zip codes. If a charter schools just happen to be in a Title I zip code or in a what I call an underserved community, or it happens to be a minority area, or let's just say a school that's performing very well, just happens to be in a certain geographical location. You can't compare that. And the school I'm actually working at right now, Somerset Eagle, just happens to be in a geographic location that serves a community that's very diverse and wide. We have dual parent homes. We got some single parent homes. We have free and reduced lunch students. We have students who are affluent students. So it just depends on where your school is. The intention is not to create division or a separation or a segregate community. So I really wanted to fire back and show that, look, we are a Title I school in a geographical area that performs actually very well.
Mhm.
Prior to the pandemic, and I like to say that we were in A school at the elementary level and a B school at the middle school level. And of course, the pandemic has put strain on every school. So of course, our scores came back in the summer, and let's face it, everyone suffered within the surrounding community. But prior to that, we were a thriving and up and coming charter school. Even during the pandemic, we've seen our enrollment increase,
Mhm.
and we're competing against other traditional schools in the area that happen to be A and B schools. But there are some schools that surround us that are traditional public schools that aren't doing well, and those parents have chose to come here. We're a choice option. So with that, they've chose to come to a school that provides a very endearing and warm environment.
Mhm.
It's a uh, I would say a public school with a private school feel. It's probably the closest thing they're going to get to private school. So we have a very nurturing environment. We have a celebratory environment. We celebrate everything for our kids.
Yeah.
We celebrate our staff. And I think we create a sterile environment for those families. So they come to us because that's something they're not getting in the traditional schools. So with that being said, there's stark competition. If parents don't like what we're doing, they will easily leave and go back to their traditional school. So those things need to be stated, and those things need to be understood by everyone, even people who have read the article since it posted here in the Times Union have called me and said, "Hey, you know what? I never understood charter schools to that level. Like you really broke it down. Now I really understand. I hated charter schools, or I was always told charter schools stole money from
Yeah.
the public schools, or it was like a bad word. Now they understand, and they have asked even further questions. What's the charter school that you recommend? And I never got that. I always got like, oh yeah, you're the principal at a charter school. What made you leave public school? Oh, okay. Well, oh, you guys get autonomy for accountability. Oh, okay. All right. That sounds like a neat trade-off, but they didn't understand that we provide something that's more everlasting and more I would say entertaining or more endearing to parents. Parents still have to come out and observe our school. They get to walk through our school. They get to touch our school. They get to meet they see me in pickup or in the front of the school, or they meet our teachers. We create a family environment. I think that's what people want, and that's one of the beautiful things about charter schools.
Absolutely. And the customer service portion of it is something we never talk about, but it's what you were saying that the parents can walk away. So you are constantly, I mean, your accountability is constant, serving the parents, listening to the parents, trying to keep really great teachers, recruit really great teachers. And you have to move the bar for a student academically, but you also have to make sure that you're reaching the whole child.
Yes.
And I love that. And I love that you said it. You're like, charters excel at adapting instruction to the needs of each child, which I know you
Mhm.
have to,
Yes.
and that the parents hold you accountable. And I'm so glad you wrote that because there's a lot of myths and misinformation, but you hit it on the head. And then you talked about the minority community, and I think that's important because choice was always available if you could
Mhm.
pay for the school or if you could move to a better neighborhood, and that's something everybody knows.
Right.
And charters broke down that wall, and choice
Right.
is available to everyone. It doesn't matter your income, where you live, what neighborhood. And that choice is important for parents, like you said, to choose the right fit for the child. So thank
Absolutely.
you for bringing up the points.
Well, thank you for having me.
So what is next? What is next for you?
Well,
Are you going to continue to be an advocate? Because my goodness, we need more of you out there.
yes, I would love to be, and that actually struck a match with me. And I advise anybody who runs into this same type of article or statements that you hear, because you're going to hear it a lot in the charter world. It's never going to go away. We need parent advocacy. We need principal advocacy, student advocacy. If you have that environment in your school, we're trying to get our students to be more vocal about it. I shared an article with our staff as well as our students and parents, and I want them to join us in the force of being loud and vocal about what charter schools provide and how we are different and why parents should exercise their choice. If they're not excited or happy about their school, then they should give charter schools a try. So if you are a big supporter of charter schools, I'm asking you, join us in this voice, this movement, so that we can be heard, because charter schools are going to be here to stay.
Absolutely. And you're doing a great job in that school. You really have moved the bar with those kids, and I know you're in there in the community. You're just not a school. So thank you for all the work that you do with your students and the community.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thanks for talking to us, Tunji.
Hey, have a good one. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
If you liked this episode, please share it. For more information about charter schools or to read Tunji's op-ed, please visit flcharteralliance.org.